What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapachet, and this is the Mad Box Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for stopping by on this slash toasty Wednesday afternoon slash evening. We're headed towards the evening hours. We appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by this midweek show. If eyes look a little swollen is because I literally just got back from the road, took a quick trip to California for family business, and right, I'm so it's like let's go, boom off Tuesday, Wednesday, and came back ASAP. So I made sure to try to get as much sleep as I could before I got the show crack-a-lackin', because there's plenty to talk about. Starting with official fight week for Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman. That's going to be taking place this Saturday here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I believe the MGM Grand, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to be talking about our predictions, our official predictions, and which shouldn't be too much of a fucking, shouldn't blow you guys' mind. I'm sure everybody has the same idea in mind. But on top of that, the fight odds. I found some odds here online. So we're talking about that, of course. In addition to that, other things, we got Oscar De La Hoya with a great announcement, right? We talked about it on Sunday. He was going to have something juicy for us, waiting for us on Tuesday, and sure enough, he finally delivered. And we're going to be talking about what that announcement was, in case you haven't already heard it, and what this means, our reaction to it, etc., etc. Jai Opetaia being officially stripped of the IBF championship. This might not be news. Most people figured it was going to happen, and it set the tone. It's going to set the tone for things that are to come with Zuffa and other sanctioning bodies. So we're going to be talking about that, of course, the ramifications of such thing. And of course, more Zuffa news. Sounds like the Ali Act revival passed. So we're going to be talking about that, of course, what that could mean for the sport, if anything. But we're going to be talking about that, of course. Let's see here. And then some Eddie Hearn news. Eddie Hearn with a really nice sound bit. Sometimes as media people, we like to, get asked for interviews, and sometimes those promoters, those fighters know what kind of sound bit we want, right? And they give it to us. And boy, did Eddie give us his version of it regarding Tom Espinal's pay, UFC heavyweight champion, and the UFC in general. So we're going to be talking about plenty of that, of course. All right. Before we get into those stories, as always, want to bring in a quick word from our sponsor, Health E Sol, or Health Y Sol, a tallow-based company, tallow-based soaps and products. Definitely make sure to give them a try. If you happen to find anything you want to try, make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase, or follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video. Lavender patchouli is my favorite, so make sure to check them out. Once more, Health E-Sol or Health Y-Sol, tallow-based products. Check them out. Hopefully you guys like them. All right, so as I mentioned a few times already, my work schedule has permitted me to now have Tuesday, Wednesday off, and it's weird to have weekday days off and have to work the regular weekend, right? Saturday, Sunday. I bring this up to say that that allows me to attend certain media / public, open to the general public events when there are fights in town. Like, for example, what they would often call the grand arrival, when fighters arrive at the MGM Grand lobby, and they set up a nice little ring in there, right? It looks hella tight. And then near the sports book, they have a makeshift ring where some of the undercard, usually the undercard fighters, come out and they pads and whatever, just for media, and it's open to the general public. So it allows me to attend these things, right, without having to take any time off or anything like that. Well, this is the second fight that I was planning to attend. Well, these events, I should say. Tell me, Andrew, why the fuck these events didn't happen for either one of these fights? God damn it. I seriously thought that they were going to have those events going for PBC, which they usually do at the MGM. They did none of that. They did have this one event that was kind of like a Q&A sort of thing with other media outlets, which is cool, and it was open to the general public, but it's not the grand arrivals that we're used to, right? maybe this fight isn't that big enough, doesn't deserve that. A media workout, or where it's open to the public, which normally happens on Wednesday. Tuesday grand arrivals, Wednesday the media workout / open workout, and then I believe Thursday they have the final press conference, which will still take place. The press conference will, but I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday. This is the second fight like in 2 months that these events didn't happen. I don't know what the hell happened. I was expecting that. What's going on here, Andrew? What's going on?
Where is the fight being held at?
If I'm not mistaken, the MGM Grand.
Wow, that's really weird. I was kind of hoping that it was because they weren't being held at the casino. The casinos are like, no, we don't want to do a grand arrival if we're not going to, take in all the gamblers. With it being held at the MGM, you would think they would make this a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember too many fights that didn't have a grand arrival of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it was only media there in the lobby to wait for them to come in, they were still have something. And to be honest with you, fans would still stop. At least people that were walking would still go, "Hey, what's this?" And there would be somewhat of a crowd. So it's just got to be the times that Vegas is in. The money's tight right now out there. Obviously, that's the report that keeps coming out of Vegas, right? And we're talking basically the Strip, not outside of Vegas. We know the local casinos are still doing somewhat good. They still have fair pricing and stuff. It's the Strip that have gouged themselves completely out of business. So maybe it's just tight. The money's tight right now. Look, they're saying Caesars is up for sale, right? Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that. Yes.
Yeah. So they finally given in, and once that happens and they break apart this umbrella of casinos that are under the same umbrella here, break these casinos up. Hopefully some more investors come in, bigger pockets, and we'll start seeing the prices come down in Vegas. Maybe get back to the old Vegas, but I don't know, man. I really don't. We've been talking about ticket prices. Las Vegas is a big part of why the ticket prices have skyrocketed everywhere else in America and just throughout the sports and entertainment world. Their concerts are hundreds of dollars to watch. Their shows are hundreds of dollars to watch. And now it seems like the Raider game is hundreds of dollars to watch. It like overnight became the most highest priced ticket in America. Now we've always had organizations like the Yankees and the Red Sox and who else? What's a big basketball? The Lakers. There you go. Jesus.
Oh.
The Lakers. I had it all up here and then it just leaves me, Miguel. Those two we've always paid big money, right?
Sure. The big franchises, yeah.
The big franchises, but I mean, in LA, you used to get to see the celebrities. You're in LA. It's like the most watched basketball game probably on in that night, especially back in the day. I mean, right now they have LeBron, but still back in the day with Kobe, Shaq, and those guys, these things, the ratings are through the roof. And then the Yankees are the Yankees, right? When you go there, it's historic. That was America's team for the longest time. So they've always had those two markets, but everywhere else, bro, kind of got in on a sweet deal, just tickets were not that much. And now with the Raiders, the way the Raiders blew up the football, I don't know, it kind of gave everybody the idea that they weren't charging enough. And now it seems like tickets have just went up across the board. I mean, obviously we see in boxing and the MMA world, they've been complaining about ticket prices, pay-per-views, everything has went up. And honestly, I think that's a reflection of what's going on in Las Vegas with them trying to be a sports world. And, at least on the news, in the sports news, they're trying to act like it works, right? They're saying the Raiders sell out. They got one of the hottest seats. So of course everybody's going to follow.
Yeah. Did you get an expansion team as well, an NBA expansion team? I don't know if you got that, but that's gonna, man, that's something else. I don't know when it's least that I've seen. But apparently, I'm looking at it here. It's like Seattle, I think it is. Let me see here and just double check here. I think it might be like Seattle and Vegas or something like that. I think those are two expansion teams for the NBA. So it's just gonna keep going. And by the way, WrestleMania 42 is gonna be here in town, and those tickets are gonna be fucking expensive as shit. So it may very well be that. It may very well be that.
Let's pray that some rain comes for you guys soon, because I don't know how all this building is being made with the rain or water crisis that they keep saying you guys are about to fall into. It's really weird how they just keep allowing the growing to happen. Like everybody sees the red flags, but no one's paying attention to it. So definitely water is needed in Las Vegas. I'm not really a fan of the recycled water thing, dude.
No,
I don't want sewer water anywhere near my farming, the grass that I lay, the grass that you're supposed to lay in and get energy from. It's actually shit water.
Right. It's recycled shit water. It's cleaned, filtered shit water.
I don't know, man. I feel like in 20 years they're gonna tell us. Remember when we did that? Yeah, bad idea.
Yeah, it was a good idea at the time. We thought it was great. We thought we had plenty of research, but you might be entitled to some compensation if you open one of those kind of commercials. Like, did you or your family suffer some sort of?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that means that Fundora and Thurman didn't have any sort of. I mean, I'm sure I haven't actually gone down to the MGM Grand. However, when you follow their Instagram account or their Facebook, it has the fight week schedule. It didn't mention any of that. So maybe they do have some decorations out there, which reminds me, the other fight I was thinking about was Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. I went down for that thinking there was going to be shit going on, and they didn't. So,
and that's strange. That's strange too, because Ryan's a big star.
Yeah, and that one was T-Mobile though. That arena was where they actually had it. This one is the MGM. And I just double checked. It is going to be supposed to be the MGM, and that's something that a place that PBC has frequented, for Tim Sue fights and whatnot, and they've had several of them there, So it just seemed weird that they wouldn't have something small. I don't even know if they have the ring out in the lobby the way they normally do, where like the Lion is, but I probably will make a trip down there. As I mentioned, I went out of town this weekend, or my weekend, I should say, so I haven't had time to go down there. But I might go down there just tomorrow to see what I can find. Are there any pictures or anything like that? They got some promotion going on, right? I mean, it's going to be there.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I wonder if it's one of those COVID situations where they seen that it didn't really affect anything when they took it away, so why bring it back? You know what I mean? But that is weird. I don't like that. These are both of the fights that you're talking about were world championship fights. Those are supposed to be the biggest events that we're putting on, to not have a media or a grand arrival, I don't know, kind of takes away from the experience of being at the fight. For the people that can't get into the fight, sometimes that was the only way you're going to get close to your fighter, right? You get to see him, get to hopefully grab a picture maybe with him if he walks by you. Yeah, it kind of sucks that they're taking that away from the fans. That was a way to promote yourself. They throw T-shirts, the guys are out there working the crowd. Yeah, that sucks. We got to talk to somebody.
Right. So someone, Al Heyman, if you're listening, and I know you are, what the hell? You're missing out. Come on. Yeah, we know PBC is in dire need of some good fucking news.
I would think someone at the MGM might have that answer.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Vegas specific.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep. If you went to that booth and just said you wanted to talk to an events person or something, they might be able to get you that answer of why they're not doing it. Even if it is, they just said they like the money that they're saving. Be like, fuck.
Right. At least we got an answer.
At least we got an answer. Yeah. That's what it was for the closed. I told you guys this a lot. That's what it was for the closed circuit. Why they stopped doing a lot of the closed circuit at casinos. When COVID hit, they seen how much money they were saving. Didn't have to pay for security. They said fighting started picking up too much, and they got rid of it. And they never brought it back. I don't know. Do they do closed circuit today? Have they brought it back any?
Oh man. Not that I've seen. I want to say, well, I guess now it's a different story since the UFC is on Paramount, but Buffalo Wild Wings, if you guys are familiar with that, would do UFC events.
No, I mean the casinos, bro. The
I'm
casinos.
trying to think of other spots because the casinos, I doubt it, Like, I don't remember the last time I saw any sort of advertising for like closed
Yeah.
circuit there, any spot there. I mean, no,
Think about
by all means,
think
let me
about
know if I'm wrong, but I don't think that happens.
think about all the money the pay-per-view world lost out when the casinos decided not to throw those parties anymore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
damn, and they can use it. Well, the card is this weekend, right? Sebastian Fundora putting his WBC. He was a unified champ. He dropped one of the belts to, I guess, to fight Tim Tszyu. So I think his mandatory at the time was Xander Zayas. So he said, fuck this, drop the belt. I want my rematch with Tszyu, and he got it. So he was Fundora. I'm talking about the unified 154-pound champ with 2 belts. He has one now, and that's the one that he's defending, the WBC 154-pound championship against Keith one time Thurman. Have you ever seen Keith Thurman with braids? He kind of looks like Bone Thugs, a member of Bone Thugs and Harmony. If you've ever seen him in person, but it's going to be going down this Saturday. A few, I forgot when specifically they was announced, but no more than a few weeks ago, one of the fights fell through. Frank Sanchez, who was, if I'm not mistaken, supposed to be the co-main event against Richard Torres. From what I see here, it was scheduled to be on the card, but Sanchez suffered a knee injury, so that fight gets scrapped. Now, I believe this pay-per-view card is, if I saw this post, if it's accurate, $80. That I don't know who's going to want to fork that up for. The main event will be okay. We'll talk about that here shortly, but $80 for a PBC pay-per-view, or 75, sometimes 75.99, whatever. If it's over $60 for that fight alone, I would have considered it at least for an additional awesome. We talked about it when the fight was first announced with Torres and Sanchez, how much of a big step it is for Torres and everything. We're like, fuck yeah, this is good. And then it goes through. I mean, it falls through. So kind of makes you, second guess whether or not you want to fork up the $75, $80 for that.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. If you're not a fan of one of these guys, I just don't see a lot of people purchasing this event for that price. They don't have a big casual fan base, either fighter, Thurman or Fundora. So this is really, they're going on the sale of both guys. They're diehards. Diehards will purchase this fight, Miguel. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. And if you hear Keith Thurman tell it, he's like, it's because it's me, because I'm on it. If you ever heard him say it, he's like, that's why you should order it. Like, okay, sure, Keith, whatever you say. But there's still a couple of decent fights on here. Ioannis Tellez, if I can pronounce his name right, or Tellez, he's taking on Brian Mendoza. I'm going to say it in English because Tellez, it seems like it's a little bit easier to say. 154-pounders, more 154-pounders. Brian Mendoza, if that name sounds familiar, he did knock out Fundora afterwards, losing to Tim Tszyu. And then Ioannis Tellez, if I can pronounce that right, was an interim 154-pound, I think, WBA champ. Lost the belt, his only loss, which was relatively recent, to the guy who Xander Zayas just beat, Abbas Barao. And that's where, Zayas unified the belts by beating the guy who took the O from Ioannis Tellez. That's going to be on this card as well. And then Yoneli Hernandez against Terrell Gachet, and a couple of other names on here that you might not be too familiar with. But at the very least, you guys know that what is the co-main event here, I guess, is Tellez and Brian Mendoza. All right, so we're going to get crack-a-lagging with the odds here. Now, I'm pretty sure you can figure out who's going to be the favorite here, right? From what I see here, where to go? Damn it! I literally just had it, and I guess apparently the BetMGM app tends to refresh every so often, and then it just blacks out. So I have it up here. Sebastian Fundora at -375. Taking on Keith Thurman, again defending his WBC 154-pound championship against Keith one-time Thurman, who is at plus 250. Oh my. Okay. And that's just a straight money line, of course, right? It looks like Fundora by KO, TKO, or DQ is at minus 120. All right. Fundora on points plus 260. All right. Apparently, it seems like the BetMGM app thinks that Fundora is going to mop the floor and finish Thurman before the 12 rounds are done at plus 260 there. Or I guess doesn't think it's going to happen, I should say. That's what I should say. They don't see it happening. And then Keith Thurman by TKO or KO or DQ plus 600. Fucking hell. And then Keith Thurman by points at plus 600 as well. Both of those. Or if there's a draw, we're looking at plus 1,600. Highly unlikely outcome, as the other ones were, Fundora on points and Keith Thurman on points. Keith Thurman winning in general, I should say. Now, taking a look at these guys' records here.
Miguel.
Yes, sir.
Is there an over-under on the rounds?
Let me see. So there isn't. Well, this one only the only thing that it specifies is will it go 12 rounds or not. So it doesn't specify over under a specific round, but yes, that it will go full 12 rounds plus 125. No, that it will not go 12 full rounds is minus 175. So unfortunately, no specific one. But as I mentioned, tomorrow I'm gonna try to drive down to the MGM and see if I can find more prop bets there, just for shits and giggles, really. But yeah, it looks like Keith Thurman is a heavy underdog here. Now you're probably wondering, well, why is he so much of an underdog? Why so much? Well, going back to 2000, let's see here, 2015, he fought one time, or actually two times there. 2016, he fought one time. 2017, he fought one time. He was out for 2 years. He came back 2019, fought one time. Actually, take it back. I should say won one time, because the other 2019 fight was his loss to Manny Pacquiao. Gone for another couple of years. 2022, comes back and beats Mario Barrios. Fights one time. And then fights in 2025. A few years later, recently, March, I guess. Well, let me see. When was this? Yeah, March of 2025. Literally a year ago was his last fight. Now, mind you, him and Fundora were scheduled to fight in October. Some bullshit happened. I think it was Fundora's hand or something. So they postponed it. And now here we are for this one here. So I guess he was scheduled to fight another time in 2025, although it didn't happen. But at his age, having fought this few times over the last 7-8 years, will do him in. You can see why he's such an underdog here. All right, Andrew, before I go into my spiel, what do you think of those odds, especially considering with Thurman's lack of activity?
Well, I was gonna say that not going the distance was gonna be the bet of the night. It's a safe bet, but at minus 175, I don't like those odds. So first off, I have Fundora winning this fight. I don't see Thurman winning. Thurman's gonna win if he knocks him out. That's the only way Thurman wins this. I don't see him getting inside of Fundora's reach for 12 rounds. I think Fundora is gonna pepper him on the outside. Maybe Keith gets lucky, gets on the inside and lands one shot that can change the fight. But I don't see that happening over and over again. So I see Fundora building a point lead as this fight keeps going later. Why I wanted the won't go 12 is because he was knocked out by a single shot. So it kind of shows, and I know, I think he got hit on the way down, but he was out on the first shot.
He was out. The reason he got hit so clean on the way down is because his guard was fucking done. When that one shot hit, it was like boop, it was like clear as fuck and wide open. So that's the reason he went on. He got hit once more time on the way down. Go ahead.
Right. So Fundora knows that he's been knocked out, right? That's got to be in the back of his mind. I know he's probably gotten over it, but it's still there, right? You don't forget about it. Thurman knows that's his only way. So I might take Fundora on a 12-round decision at that plus 260 and just hope that he gets a little bit nervous during the walkout, during the first round, and decides, you know what, stay on the outside, keep him at the end of your punches, and let's get to a decision. If this fight gets to 8th or 9th rounds, maybe Fundora carries him for the last part to get to the decision. There would be no reason to risk everything to try to get a knockout if you're cruising on a victory. That's how I'm going to pray that Fundora takes this fight. But at plus 260, you're still picking the favorite. You're getting good money back if you can get it right that he gets the decision and not the knockout. So why not? I like the plus 260 12-round unanimous decision by Fundora.
All right. I was taking a look at the recent fights, right? Specifically with Keith Thurman. He's fought once, if I'm not mistaken, at 154 pounds, and that was that fight against this guy Brock Jarvis over there in Australia, I believe. Didn't last too long. Not obviously top-notch competition, but I guess the question that I'm trying to pose is, because the only way we see Thurman winning is like by KO, and probably like a one-punch type of KO, the way Fundora got caught against Mendoza. Do you think Thurman has the pop at 154 to be able to do that to a Thurman, to a Fundora, considering he's only fought there once? Yeah, it was a KO victory or a TKO with Jarvis, but it's his only time at 154.
Yeah, it's his only time, so there's an unknown there, but it's Keith Thurman. He is known for his power. That's the only chance he has, right? And if you've seen his training, he did have a few videos where he's aiming pretty high at a target. They got it like 8 feet, I don't know, 7 feet in the air, probably what Fundora's height is. But they got it pretty. Have you seen he just keeps throwing the overhand right?
No.
Wow, he's whacking. He's doing a good job. You can hear the sound. You can hear some pop there. So it's like, well, I don't know if he lands one of those. You know what I mean? There's so many times that we watch these elite strikers practicing the knockout move, right? Where that right hand lands, ends it, and then they're going to go, look, remember this video? It's like, fuck, he's throwing the same exact punch. So there is a video out with Keith Thurman at least training for a very big right hand coming down the pipe Saturday night. Looping right hand.
I was thinking about the way Fundora got caught, and he initially got caught with the left. I think it was like a left hook, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if Thurman is like kind of what's the word, trying to trick us, or him, I guess, specifically Fundora, like, yeah, look out for my right, but I'm really like low-key practicing this left hook that I'm not going to air on fucking TV, right? And I'm not going to post that shit to make sure that maybe like, oh, look, he's going up the right hand, I'm going to take care of the right hand, I guess. I don't know. So sort of the way Mario Barrios was expecting that left of Ryan, it ends up being like the right hand that fucks him up. The one that drops him. But I was thinking about that. Right now that you mentioned, I was like, you know what? I wonder if that has anything to do with it. But that really is his only chance, his only hope, right? He's got a puncher's chance, I guess, if he can land that. Fundora, for his part, has shown that he can get hit, even for as tall as he is. His fight with Tim Tszyu, his nose was bloody. That first one was a bloody ass fucking mess, but it was because he got hit. And the first one was a little bit more of a short notice type of fight. But even in the rematch, when he wins, he gets hit. Erickson Lubin tagged him. So sometimes you look at his height and you're like, wow, it's so daunting, right? And it is, but it's like he could still be hit. So that leaves some opportunity for Thurman to land something on him, considering how often he does get hit.
Yeah, and I think that's why they have the won't go 12 at minus 175. They're leaning hard on the knockout on this one. Kind of surprised they're giving Thurman such a high knockout victory, plus 600. That seems like a very good bet. You won't get those odds on the table. Why not throw $100 down on that? You know what I mean? If you're going to bring home 700 on, all you need is it to happen, right? Seems like good odds for a gambler, degenerate gambler. That seems like that would get some money on Thurman. Thurman by points, you're just throwing your money out the window at that point. And if it happens, it happens. But going in, I don't think there's anyone that sees him outpointing Fundora.
No. And as the time goes on, like, you have to imagine that if Thurman has a chance of winning, I don't think it'll be later on in the fight. I don't think, at least. I mean, yes, that's kind of the way it happened when Fundora did get caught, but I'm not sure if Fundora is going to get caught the same way again. At least not with that left. I don't think, at least. So the more, it's almost like Thurman's best shot is at the very beginning, you know, especially considering his age, especially considering his lack of activity. I don't think he wants to go into those like latter rounds where, you know, the pop is going to be less, probably is going to have less power as the rounds go on. And it seems as though, if specifically you watch that fight with Erickson Lubin and Fundora, it's like Fundora got stronger, you know, as the time went on. So his best shot is the KO, and most likely early, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So real quick, so then what was, I mean, you did mention your prediction was Fundora, but how are you going to call it? Or do you think he's going to finish him roughly?
No, I'm going to go for the 12 rounds.
Okay, decision.
Yeah, because I think
the PBC card, right? You got to have a decision.
Yeah, because I think he's going to get nervous with Thurman's power. That's what I'm hoping for. Because going in,
Fundora's going to get nervous with Thurman's power.
And then just stick to boxing, get outpointing the old man. So yeah, I'm gonna go decision. It's the most unlikely thing on the board. Plus 260. At least for the champ. Because Thurman's plus 600 on both. They're just trying to get money out of people on that one. That plus 260 is interesting. Unless we find out Thurman's going in with the hurt hand or something. Like, the motherfuckers, they knew. Yeah. They knew. That's why they gave the high odds on both of those. But whatever.
Right.
I won't call it a fix yet.
Right. Let's see them in action. I anticipate, you know, seeing, you know, I guess maybe judging something differently once we see them hop on the scale, see how they look. They've looked great so far, right? It doesn't look like they've. I haven't heard any sort of other rumors of them like having, because, you know, Fundora is a big dude, and I don't know how much longer he's going to stay at 154, but he's really, really thin, right? Really like rail thin. So I don't know if he at any point struggles to make 154 or stay at 154 out. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what they'll look at on the scale on Friday afternoon/morning.
It's really a no-win situation for Fundora. No-win situation. I don't know if I said that right. No-win situation.
Really, you don't think it's a win to some degree to have another notable name on your record?
He's not notable anymore because of the stat that you just named about 5 minutes ago. That's a disgusting stat of a once, you know, top 10 fighter, pound for pound guy fought once a year for the last 5 years.
Yeah, and then skipped a few years.
Yeah, exactly. Twice he does it. That's not pound for poundish at all. So no, this is really, you guys, to be honest, my true feelings is this is a fight I just want Fundora to get over with already. Get him by this and let's move on to his next career, because we know the division's getting hot. He's not going to be able to stay behind the PBC, you know, stable this long. He's going to have to start fighting these other champs. So I kind of just want Saturday to come and go. I am expecting Thurman to lose. Now I'll be hoping he loses by a 12-round decision and we'll get over it. You know what I mean? But there's no suspense. I don't, you know, it's Thurman at old age. Hairline is fucking still going back. He looks older than ever. You know, it's Fundora just needs to take care of business. Can we move on with this already? Like, yeah, he's a champ, but damn, we've been waiting a long time for Fundora to bust out already too. And maybe the Mendoza setback is why we haven't seen him in a big fight with some of the other champs or top fives yet. But I would really like to see him get in the ring and unify or even maybe Virgil Ortiz, you know, because it seems like he's open now. Could get a fight with him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
if I'm Virgil, I'm very interested in that. With what's happening right now in the 154 division, Virgil should be asking Oscar if they can go to that fight and sit ringside.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they don't have to sit next to each other, but I mean, they can. Maybe they're still kind of.
Or they should.
Or they should. I mean, I suppose you
Yeah.
should. I mean, should, right? I mean, I don't know. Man, so I'm not sure. I think oddly from Oscar's side, and we'll talk about it later because it's on the docket. But I think he would be okay with having him sit. After what I'm here or what I've heard from what's his name from Virgil saying like my time with him is done for sure. It's like, oh fuck, okay. I don't think he'll be the one. And then on top of that, Oscar saying what he said about his pops and everything like that, and giving him money when he had to pull out of the fight and stuff like that. Like if you're gonna throw it in his face like that, I don't think it's gonna be Virgil sitting next to him. If he does, he's gonna be kind of like a child who's being punished.
Whatever it is, that's his boss, and he needs to make some money, right? So get over your fucking feelings and go to work. At some point, you got to shake it out, let it go. You guys are still partners. Let's make the most money we can while we're together, right? And who knows, maybe them making a shit ton of money makes their relationship better. We all know money makes people happy. They'll say it doesn't. Right. They're lying.
It breaks relationships up and it makes them up.
That's
for
right.
Damn sure. Real fucking fast. That would be tight though. That would be a good idea because in May we got PBC and Golden Boy with Zurdo Ramirez and fucking Benavides. So I don't see why we can't get this one crack-a-lacking. But I'm gonna go out on a little bit of a different prediction. I do think Thurman is going to lose. I think Fundora is going to take it, but I think he's going to get stopped. I think Thurman's going to get stopped. I anticipate Fundora being able to chop him down. I don't know. I don't think Thurman's going to be able to reach him. He might crack him a little bit at the very beginning, but I suspect that Fundora is going to catch on to that, and he's not going to get hit as much, and he's going to continue to chop at Thurman. That fight with Brock Jarvis at 154, which was last March, was short. Who knows if he can go 12 full rounds at 154 pounds with his age and again the inactivity. I think he's going to start running out of gas, and of course he's been hurt by guys like Josecito Lopez, who was like, what the hell? Since when does that guy have pop? And he surprises every so often here. Josecito I'm talking about, but I don't see Thurman lasting the 12 rounds. I think Fundora is going to get the finish, but it'll be late. It'll be 9-10 round, I think is where he's going to get it done. So I'm going to go that direction. Fundora.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Fundora KO/TKO 9/10 round. Thurman's not going to full 12.
If you see Thurman, can you ask him if the punches feel different now than they did 5 years ago? And when he says, why you ask, point to his hairline. I just want to know, dude. Like he had hair before. Remember, he used to have long hair. You might go, there is a difference. Fuck you. Get out of here. It's just for the kids, bro. I'm just don't kill the messenger.
It's like, fuck this guy. Don't ever get this guy credentials again. Ever. Who let this guy in? Who let this guy in?
Kid kind of far back, bro.
Yeah, right. Oh Lord, I've seen the comparisons of the RoboCop, right? RoboCop when he takes off his mask and he's got that. Oh Lord, or I've seen the one with like his comparison to Kane, that wrestler, right? When he took off the mask. Oh gosh, dude, that the internet stays undefeated. They rip that motherfucker a new hole every single time. I was gonna go the direction
every single time. Miguel. It's like, bro, like, what are you combing from halfways now? Stop it, like. You got to let it go. Someone needs to pull out a measuring string there, tape for him maybe, and be like, look, dude, you lost an inch. You lost this. You like, if you look at a certain angle, you don't even see hair. Just cut the fucking thing off.
Right. Go one direction or the other. Either go full stone cold and just shave that shit, or go get fucking plugs. Go get hair plugs, bro.
Hey, what about a Mongolian? Like the Muay Thai fighters or something? Remember that big dude in Bloodsport? Fuck yeah, Miguel.
That'd be tight.
There, dude.
Tong Po. Oh man.
Oh, we saved his hair.
Yes. Like keep the braid, but just have it back here. Nothing else. Shave that shit. And I've seen people do that shit. Oh, that's
he could pull that off. He could Thurman could pull that haircut off, dude.
Keith, if you're listening, we love you, buddy, but please get that. Oh, dude, there's gonna be there has to be memes already. He's sitting at the barbershop and it's like, what are you looking at? Like think Tong Po, and he's like, I got you. Say no more, buddy. I got you. Oh boy. We have to do it to you, Keith. Sorry, we have to tell you the truth. The truth.
We're giving you motivation. Take this spot into the ring, Keith.
Yeah. If you take that the inner strength that we're giving you right now, and you whoop Fundora's ass, and you're on the mic after in the ring, you're like, yeah, fuck those two clowns.
Fuck mad boxing. That's all we want.
Exactly. Like, I got your tongue power right here, motherfuckers. This is what I think about you, holding the WBC belt. Oh goodness. All right. So we're gonna go that direction. Now, as we were talking about, right? Fundora, these guys have to depend on their like hardcoreness of hardcore fans, right? To follow them, to buy the tickets. Should this be on a regular, Amazon Prime Video fucking subscription and not pay-per-view? I mean, we literally are describing it, or you're describing it, Andrew, as like, just get this shit over with already, and maybe Virgil will be ringside and we can look forward to the next one. Those aren't pay-per-view fights, right? Like, those are not the kind of fights you want to put on pay-per-view. The one that most people are saying, like, let's just get this shit over with so we can proceed with the weight division.
Unfortunately, the PBC has been putting on these type of pay-per-views probably since Garcia versus Tank.
Oh, okay. Well,
was Crawford Spence after Tank Garcia?
Yes. Tank Garcia was April 2023, and then July 2023 was Spence and Crawford.
So we'll say Spence and Crawford then. But it's been a while that they've been limping around these pay-per-views. We would have to do the math, and I don't want to do it live, but you would have to do the math on, they're selling, $8 million worth of seats. Could they get $8 million guaranteed from a casino or a TV platform of some sort and not have to deal with the tickets? Maybe, but you would really have to look at the numbers, because there's a chance that no, Al Heyman's making just a few $1 million more doing the work himself, putting it on pay-per-view, selling tickets than going the other route, So I would have to look at the numbers. But when you're paying Tank supposedly $30 million, you don't want an $8 million gate and 60,000 pay-per-view buys, because now it doesn't look like you made any money. If not, you might be owing someone. But where Fundora and Thurman are getting paid, most likely everyone's going to make money on this night. I'm hoping. Miguel, I'm hoping for at least 60,000 buys. And I think that number's heavy, because I just don't see the fan base behind either man. Like, look, Thurman's from the PBC, but I don't know if he was ever accepted. He's the flute playing, long hair, I fucking meditate guy. I just don't know if the PBC
has a little bit of a lisp.
Yeah,
that stuff.
Yeah, I just don't know if the PBC fans are like, yeah, Thurman's back. You know what I mean? We would have to look at his previous numbers, like maybe what Manny did, to try to gauge to see what kind of fan base he what brought in on that pay-per-view. But I don't remember any of his pay-per-views knocking it out of the park. So I'm a little bit nervous that 60,000 is even a high number. But like I said, I think they're in a tax bracket that'll allow everyone to make money. Let's hope that the fans show up. Do we know of ticket prices on this fight? Did we get what the range is? Or can a few $100 get us in, or is it $700 for nosebleeds and $1,300 for front row?
Good question. I can pull that up here, but I don't. So for those who might not be too familiar with the MGM Grand Garden Arena is one of the, like, a little bit on the smaller side. Sometimes, a decent seat, like a not so expensive seat, I should say, will get you a good angle. So oftentimes they'll raise the price on those. I'm pulling it up right now. Let me see here. Event tickets, because that arena, I believe, holds for like a wrestling or a boxing fight, a little over 15,000 fans. So let me see here. Okay, yeah, it's pretty reasonable. Not nosebleeds. We're looking at $90. That's not too bad.
Nice. There you
So
go.
it's not like super back. It's like directly below them
Nice.
or in front of them. That's pretty doable.
That's a
Let me
great
see here.
price.
Even like some floor seats, and this is on eventticketcenter.com. Floor seats for 2 tickets each. We're talking $300. $300
Bad.
for floor seats. Yeah,
I would absolutely pay that. When I was 21, when I was heavy and going to all the fights that I could, I would absolutely pay that for that fight. You're getting a front row seat. You're gonna be. It's a pay-per-view. Like that always hyped me up. I don't know if you were ever like that, but whenever I knew it was a pay-per-view event, I always thought like the event was bigger. So you're getting to sit front row at a pay-per-view event. It's a world championship fight. Yeah, that's a good price, man. It's nice to see Al Heyman put out reasonable ticket prices for this fight.
Yeah,
because I'm always talking of a guy who's been to many fights. I kind of lost the feeling of the fan that doesn't get to go all the time, right? This is one fight you want to get to. If you've never been to a boxing match and you're trying to see one at 90 to 200, $300 front row, that's a damn good. You're not going to get too many breaks like that on a world championship fight like this caliber.
Right. And I mean, if you're gonna stay home and watch it, we're talking 74, 75, $80. We're gonna say we can round it up, but we'll just say 75 because that's what I'm showing here. It's like, well, fuck, if I'm gonna fork that much, I'm gonna also just fork a little extra and go down to the damn thing and be down there myself,
Yes.
Andrew, when you would come to these fights as a fan, you've always been in Northern California, like you've always had to make the trek down here, or have you ever lived in Southern California or closer to Vegas that you would come that regularly?
Nope, Northern California my whole life.
Okay, gotcha. Damn, so it was a trek for you then, huh? Would you drive down here or fly down here?
Fly.
Okay.
Yeah. I always told myself I would never drive to Vegas unless it was a brand new car and all that. I didn't want to do all that whole desert thing. Now, growing up, I've seen many people have done it. It's no big thing. I was just always a little bit nervous of going through the desert. So I was like, no, I'll fly. And it's 1 hour. You're there in Sin City.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. Will you try to make it to the weigh-ins too, or not?
I told you, Tuesday to Sunday every time, bro.
Oh, well, that's when you were like a media fan, but like as a fan.
Yeah. You're talking about a fan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Weigh-ins, yes. Because I would still get in. I'm coming in on Thursday. I always had a resort. Me and my wife, we bought into a resort when we were at the Warriors game. Very early. We opened up Vegas. That's why we got the resort, because they were like, we have something in Vegas. We're like, yes, we'll do that. So I would always just show up Thursday. Rooms were never an issue, basically, bro. So I'd get there Thursday night and fucking stay until Sunday. All right.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. So that might be something you might want to consider. It is going to be, I kind of had that a little bit of that feeling you're talking about when I know it's going to be a pay-per-view, it's going to be something major. Sometimes my thing is like, let me try to get on camera here. Let me see if I can fucking do it. Right. I think I went to Rio's Alvarado 2. I went to the first 2 fights, but the second time around, I think I was closer to like the entrance rest. So I was like trying to do one of these things, right? You get on camera somehow. I've been to a couple of Bellator fights and I'm like, let me choose, close to the fucking camera or to the entrance. So when the fighters come out. So whether that was pay-per-view or not, that wasn't too relevant. Yeah, obviously it felt a little bit more special, but I'm like, let me see if I can find a seat that's like hella close to the entry, so I can just be like, give the guys a dap or something if they happen to be walking by. But that was my thing.
I forget what fight it was, but there's one where I'm multiple times I'm in the walkway when the fighters are going by.
Yeah.
And then there's one, I'm at a pay-per-view event. No one ever shows up. I think it's like Vargas Mosley, bro. It's one of those fights. No one shows up in the beginning, right? But it was Vargas, so all my family was watching, and then I start getting text messages, you're on pay-per-view, and dude, I'm the only one in the first 4 rows, because it's the showcase fights. No one cares about those. So that was freaking on. I didn't even know I was on that side. I was like, oh shit, I'm on the TV side. Because you remember they used to let us walk around the ring until we got to our media center. And I sat down in a regular chair, and my brother and cousin started texting, you're on TV. I was like, fucking nailed that one. Hell yeah. Yeah, but those are the good days. Yep.
It sure was. And hopefully you get that sense of the good old days with this fight this weekend. Hopefully. I know it's going to be a little bit pricey, but again, maybe it's worth just driving fucking down here or flying down here, I should say, unless you're nearby, of course, to just head on down because
Definitely, bro.
And this is one of the things that I love about when fights take place in these events or event centers or arenas that are connected to the casino. That sometimes you see the fighters, walking around, and maybe not the main event fighters, but their corners or like other fighters who are attending the fight themselves. It's like, fuck, that shit is hella dope, yo, to just kind of walk around. I mean, I've done it hella times. I've seen like Jorge Hesse like playing slots and shit. I'm like, oh, that's what I fucking think it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really good at recognizing faces, but not so much about putting the names on them all the time. But I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I know that dude. He's just chilling around. So that whole experience is fun as hell. And I kind of miss that when the fights take place at T-Mobile. It does. T-Mobile Arena is near what is the New York Hotel and Casino. So there is where you will see sometimes fighters, right? But you can kind of you can get around not having to walk to the casino and just go straight to like the room. You can kind of sort of do that a little bit with the way the T-Mobile is next to the New York. But the MGM is a little bit different. Sometimes they'll park in the parking lot and they have to like fall or parking garage and they have to like walk a longer piece or the lobby if it's a valet or something like that. So I just thought it was kind of tight. Like you see them more regularly.
And at the MGM, if you stay by that the water fountain where the rooms are, those high roller rooms, man, that's where all of them.
Now where the elevators are.
Yes, where the true A-listers, they got those back ways for them to get in. But a lot of the boxing world, a lot of the fighters that are staying there to watch the fight that weekend or something, no, they're walking right through there to get back to their room, man. So you hang out there, you get a lot of pictures. Autographs. You know what sucks about, I found a bunch of my programs. That's one thing I was big on for like 3 or 4 fights, dude. I had everybody sign my programs.
Oh, nice.
Cover. Yeah, bro. I had some good ones. The fucking Sharpies wiping off of the covers.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, bro.
It's supposed to be permanent marker. God damn it, permanent.
I never expected that to happen. I was like, what the I remember pulling it out and they just some of them smeared right away. And I was like, oh, what is going on? So that kind of sucks. I don't even know what they look like today, but yeah, that kind of sucked for me. I thought I had some memorabilia there, and it seems like the marker was not taking to the cover a lot. Damn it.
Bummer. Well, I anticipate going to the MGM Grand and walking around on Thursday because that is when the final press conference is going to be. And just seeing who I see. I'm taking my camera with me, my microphone, and maybe I see some people, maybe I don't. But we'll see. If you guys happen to, I'm sure I'll post something. If I see something there that like has posters or something like that, which they do specifically around the valet area, I'll take some pictures and post it on our Facebook page. But yeah. Looks like it's officially fight week. Let's see how they look on Saturday. I was kind of taking a look at the undercard because unfortunately, as I mentioned, that heavyweight fight is kind of like gone. But it's got that one fight that I was telling you about, Mendoza and Tellez, that one's gonna be pretty fun. It's the co-main event, but everything else, like man, it feels very PBC-ish, obviously, right? But it just I wish that. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember when the injury to Frank Sanchez happened to like maybe get somebody else in place and still get Richard Torres on the card. I would love to still see him. You know what I'm saying? But he's a young cat. He needs to stay active. So we would like to see him regularly. Even if it wasn't against Frank Sanchez, I would have liked to have seen at least him in action still.
Yeah, definitely. I think a fight better to go see at $90 than to pay $80 and stay at home. I don't know. I just have a feeling.
That's true. Yeah. And here's the thing. Look, guys, I'm sure you guys know this already. It's not like I'm giving you guys any new. You get there as soon as the doors open. You fucking, you don't look like you're lost. Don't be like, oh, where the fuck is my seat? Because then the ushers are more inclined to approach you and be like, oh, there. So I just walk in there like I know where the fuck I'm going, and I get a seat hella close. As people start coming in, I'll start moving over. Whatever. I'm giving up the seat. Obviously, I'm not gonna fight for it. In time, if the fight doesn't sell out, you're gonna get a much closer seat than what your $90 was. And it's happened to me. It happened to me accidentally at first, and then I made sure to make it a plan. It's only failed me maybe once or twice out of like 20 fights that I've been to. So, yeah, that's not a bad idea for $90. Yo, why not?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add to that before we move on to the next topic?
Nope. Sounds good.
All right. So, great news we heard recently. We were going to mention it. We actually kind of forgot to mention it. And, our sincerest apologies for that. But on the Saturday card of the Box Pro card, there was a serious knockout where Perla, her last name, Perla Bazaldula, Dua, knocked out her opponent, Isis Sayo, and it was bad. It was like first round KO, where they basically had to take Sayo out in a stretcher, and people were like, "Oh shit!" It was like super serious, and people, some reports online were saying that she was even seizing and everything. I was like, "Oh, homegirl got knocked the celebration from Perla's corner first because they got the KO victory, and then shit got serious real fast, and then there was like a hug in the crowd. It's like, oh damn, we'll let celebrate real fast. Let's see how things are going. And she gets sent to the hospital, and at that moment, at the time, this was like last Saturday/Sunday, she was in a medically induced coma for the trauma, right? So they had to like keep her there, and we've heard when stuff like this happens, we've seen in the news. Sometimes it doesn't end up well, and it's terrible when we find out what ends up happening to the fighters. If they make it out of there, they're sometimes not the same, and it's terrible. It's part of the fight game. It's part of this territory. It is called the hurt game for that exact reason, right? The hurt business, and that just happens. But the good news is that Sayo has not only been awake and functional and speaking and everything, but she's also been discharged from the hospital. So she's doing well, in good spirits. She went online and posted basically like an update on how everything's going on, thanking everybody and everything, and letting us know the updates on her health. But it got serious really quick for a few days, and we're pleased to announce, and I know it's already been online, but to announce that she's out of the medically induced coma and that she's doing well. And she went on her social media page and basically gave us an update. But shit got serious real fast there, Andrew. When that happened, I was like, oh damn, I didn't. When I saw the KO, I was like, okay, I didn't think it was that bad initially, and then when I got the news afterwards that she was in a coma, it's like, oh, in a medically induced coma, mind you. Then that's when shit got serious real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a scary combination, scary situation. First round, scary, man, that happened that fast to her. That, life is weird, comes at you, what do they say, 100 miles an hour? And that definitely happened that night, being only round one. She got a second shot, right? Not too many boxers get that, so I think she already knows, but it's time to step away, right? That would be it for her.
That was too close of a call, right? That was too close of a call.
Yeah. Her family will be pushing hard for her to become a trainer or do something else with the sport, but stay out. Because there's a lot of talk going on about her amateur record. I guess it wasn't that great. And so they're saying, why did the trainers even allow her to go pro? You know what I mean? And then look at what happens in round one. Was this her pro debut? And I'm sorry if you didn't know that answer. Was this her pro debut, or had she already been fighting?
She had already been fighting, because there was a little bit of confusion with her record, because in her previous fight she was knocked out, but not knocked out as in like unconscious, but it was a liver shot, it was a body shot. So in the record books it looks like a KO, and people see that in her previous fight and like, oh shit, she just got KO'd, why the fuck would they let her do this? But it wasn't a blunt like trauma to the head, it was like a body shot as I understand it. But she had already been fighting, and she had a few fights already. So I'm not sure how many per se, but I do know that there's a lot of rumbling about that. Why the California State Athletic Commission allowed her to have this fight, even though she had gotten KO'd in her previous fight, but it was a body shot, as I understand it.
Yeah, lack of experience, not a winning record, knocked out twice early on. Just it's not looking good.
Yeah.
She got a second shot. She needs to take it and run with it.
For sure. And I've seen some clips of her videos like before this fight, of course, and it's like a clip of her, I think her local news or something like that, interviewing her from where she's from. I forget what city this she's from, but she talked about how like she's very young and she like owns this fucking gym, or she's like runs this gym that she's at. It's like, yo, you don't really have to go in there and fucking, I get it, you want to go in and throw down anyway because that's, you're young and you still have the capacity to do that. this close call, it's like, yeah, I used to stick to the fucking gym. But homegirl has like a couple of businesses or something. Like she straight up owns the gym that
Nice.
she's at and everything. So she's pretty set. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like
Nice.
as young as she is, she has quite the fucking the foundation, you know, for a long-term success.
Success.
Yeah, and around the sport, not necessarily in the ring per se. And she doesn't have to at this point. Even now with this, even more of a reason to not, you know, step back in the ring, because that was too close of a call. You know what I'm saying? You like you literally said, got a second chance. Just, you know, go ahead and proceed outside of the ring with her gym and so on. That sounds like a good idea, and you know, I'm sure her family would be probably urging her to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
But great news, of course, that she's, you know, awake and answering questions and everything. And it doesn't seem as though, huh?
She's out. Great news that they discharged her. I was thrown back that she got discharged so fast, man.
No kidding. But good news to her. That I wanted to mention that, and like we said, my sincerest apologies that we didn't bring it up earlier on our Sunday show. It happened Saturday, and I saw the news of it, but I was like, oh shit, it occurred to me to bring it up on Sunday. But thankfully, the update is good news. Okay, so more more good news here. Oscar De La Hoya has come on, and we talked about it on Sunday, right? That he's got this great news, this update that he wants to give us on his social media page, right? He told us we're going to get some more news on Tuesday, and sure enough, Tuesday came, and what happened? He it looks like he re-upped with DAZN. By this non-exclusive deal, and we talked about it a little bit on Sunday because that's what it looked like. There was a lot of sources and reports saying that was going to happen. It was just a matter of them actually making the official announcement. And that's pretty much what he did. He came out, and if you guys see it, he's like in shirtless, and he's like celebrating. I'm not even sure what the hell he's talking about, but even goes as far as say like, time to celebrate, time to bring out the carne asada, right? So, all right, it's officially official, right? We did kind of briefly mention it. He's signed with DAZN, and it's a non-exclusive deal. Now, you're probably wondering like, what exactly does that mean? It's a bit of a weird one because I tried in an effort to get more information. I tried to subscribe to Steve Kim's Substack, because I'm not subscribed to most people's like newsletter, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, you know what? Let me see what the fuck else I can find on this shit, because who the hell knows? But he goes into great detail about like Eric Gomez, Golden Boy president Eric Gomez, was conducting, or was having his interview conducted on him by Steve Kim, and Steve Kim was asking him questions, saying like, you know, how the fuck does this work? So the way he describes it, it's like it's not really a like it's not how many dates, but rather it's like a budget. So it's like DAZN has a budget for them and says, all right, figure out what fights you can make with this budget. That's kind of the way it seems, at least. I pulled it up here. The way he described it here, and this is one of the questions that Eric Gomez was asked. He says, in terms of the number of shows, Gomez told me, and it's Steve Kim saying this, that's the beautiful thing. It is at our discretion. There's a budget we have to work with, and is going to be on a show-by-show basis. So if the fight is right, and it's the fight they want to put it together, they'll come out. So it's not really a number of dates; it's more a budget that we can control. So that, I guess, is what the non-exclusive part to some degree means. So it's not like they're tied to them with a certain number of shows that they owe DAZN or something like that. That apparently this is such a good deal that from what I understand, from what I'm reading here, they had already had the deal made. They just hadn't. They were trying to like finalize some details. But anyway, we'll start there. Andrew, when we first heard the announcement, I guess I should ask you this. Oscar is kind of, we know he's kind of a clown. When you see how he posts his announcement of him being, you know, shirtless or whatever with his fake abs or whatever, could he have announced it a better way than that?
Yeah, no, just looking real. He looks real strange nowadays. I don't know. Oscar's having fun. Hopefully, he's just having fun. But yes, those are part of the reasons why some of his fighters want to leave his stable. the non-exclusive deal, it seems weird how they're wording it. I mean, so what if they only give him one fight? You're saying DAZN's not going to be mad?
Right. Yeah. Right. It's like, here's a budget. Cool. We're gonna use all that budget on one fight. Fantastic. Like, no, I don't think that's how DAZN wants it.
Somebody's bullshitting there.
Yeah. Eric Gomez.
Yeah.
He needs answers.
Look, that used to be the way it was always done. HBO used to give the promoters a certain amount, and then those guys would put fights together and gobble up all that money. So it sounds like they're doing the same thing. The only thing that I don't understand is not having a number of fights that they're supposed to actually guarantee. That seems weird. That seems like a bad business plan. I'm not the best business guy, but I don't know. Telling someone, hey, you know what? Come to work when you want, but I'm still going to give you $100,000. That person's probably not coming into work as much as he should be, right? So I don't know. We'll see how that one goes. Does he give a price of what per event? Anything?
Let me see.
It'd be nice. Like Top Rank was like, we have $1 million to $1.5 million per show.
Not that it looks like, at least. I mean, I'm looking through because it's a little bit of a lengthy article. Just that they're going back and forth on a few things, but the deal had basically already been set since like December. Yeah, as far as well, he did say at the very end, like, there is more news will come out. More news will come out shortly. So they're gonna start giving us more details. I have to assume that's part of it. But there was some interesting details to not just that video of Oscar and his announcement, but if you go to their social media pages, there's like a nice little official graphic of like Oscar, right? It says like new deal, DAZN, fuck yeah, that shit, the little Oscar logo, right? And a bunch of his fighters. And guess who's missing from that poster?
Oh, I didn't even look.
Oh, yes. I mean, Steve Kim caught it, and not me. I'm just saying, I'm reading it right here. But it's funny that Mr. Virgil Ortiz is missing from that fucking poster.
Damn.
So when asked about this, because Steve Kim caught it, right? And he asked Eric Gomez, he just says, I can't really discuss it because, we're in the lawsuit, right, regarding this right here. It says, I can't go into details about that, but I will say that we're happy. A lot of our fighters are happy. A lot of our managers are very excited, yada, yada. So basically, he kind of dodged it without really giving too much questions. But it's just funny because that's the thing. Is I'm going to read this real quick. He says, this is Steve Kim saying, what's interesting is that in the promotional material that was posted by Golden Boy on Tuesday, yesterday, a particular fighter was not shown or listed, right, on their roster, which includes Ryan Garcia, Sudo Ramirez, Gabriel Fundora, whatever, Floyd Schofield. But Virgil Ortiz is missing. And he says, it was Ortiz who his representatives that tried to use the loophole of Golden Boy Promotions not having a long-term television deal to try to get out of their deal with Golden Boy. So that was part of that. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. I noticed that. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. And of course, Steve Kim pointed it out. But man, you think they're gonna? Is this? What if you were Virgil and you saw this? Would you sit next to him at the Fundora fight? Like, hey, buddy.
Miguel would probably make me reach out even faster.
Yeah.
Virgil's not in a point to be going against Oscar right now. It looks like the courts are going to tell him he is your boss.
Mm.
What worker wants their boss mad at him? You're not going to get a good deal.
Sure.
Right? So I don't know. Dude, Virgil, he's acting, I know he comes out saying nobody knows what's really going on, but from what we are seeing from the courts and everything, he's acting like a child by not reaching out to Oscar and going, hey, I fucked up. We fucked up. Let's have a sit down. Let's get this last fight out, or the last two, whatever's left on the contract. Let's get this fixed, right? I do not want to end my career. You've done a lot. I'd give him the whole 9 yards, bro. Right? And then if Oscar wants to do it publicly, maybe you do it publicly, and then that should be the end of whatever beef you two had. But I don't think he's in a position not to want to sit by Oscar or not to want to accept his phone calls. He's about to start getting into the biggest fight fights of his life, he's going to want a guy behind him that's rooting for him, not Oscar. You know, like Ryan Garcia is always saying, Oscar wants me to lose. He wants me to lose. You really want to hear this from two of the guys coming out of Golden Boy, you know? So, yeah, and it seems like Oscar won fair and square. This is not, you know, us just giving our opinion. The courts have said Oscar is in the right. They've given him the restraining order not to allow him to bring in a third party. And then Meridian fucking deleted 2 years of his text messages for some reason. And he's been real quiet. A guy that was all over my feed about a week ago seems to be really, really quiet this week. I don't know what happened.
Another round lost. Another round lost, right?
Hey, Virgil,
it's 3-10-9, huh?
Call Meridian. Go. I got another hand grade for you to jump on, buddy.
Yeah, let's do that. And on the topic of Virgil, who went to social media to wish him a happy birthday?
Jeez, tough week.
None other than Xander Zayas, the unified 154-pound champ. A quick clip of him hitting the speed bag, or the speed of the heavy bag, and then at the end says, "Hey, happy birthday to the 28-year-old prospect." And he didn't. Did he even say that? He didn't.
No, he doesn't say his name.
That's all. That's all he needs to say.
Yeah,
that's all he needs to say. So
shots fired, man down.
Right. I can imagine right now, Virgil like in his house, like having to take a knee, like, oh, first the loss in court to Oscar, and then now the shots fired from Xander. He's got like, I got hit in the liver shot. Let me take a quick 8 count, and then I'll get up here. I'll take the 10-8 round if it allows me to survive till we get the fight going. But I just thought that was hilarious that Xander Zayas took it upon himself to personally wish Virgil Ortiz a happy birthday, the way he would. But that was funny as fuck.
This has been a very tough week. He got the loss in court. He had his manager, who's probably been feeding him bullshit for the last month, all of a sudden erase his tweets. Let's hope Meridian called Virgil and said, "Hey, I'm about to do this." Let's hope they knew about it, right? He was in the loop and didn't just go to it. "Hey, why is Rick fucking erasing everything, Dad?"
Yeah.
Then he finds out Top Rank is signing with his platform, giving a clear path to Zayas fucking boots. The next day, that's confirmed that they are in talks. The next day, De La Hoya signs, and this is all in 1 week. Don't take it day for day, but it's all in 1 week that this is just back-to-back shit happening to him. So now his gateway getting out of De La Hoya is closed up. He's on the platform that he was arguing he wasn't on. And what's the last one? Oh, Zayas throws out the 28-year-old prospect. Damn. Probably a tough birthday party when all your family and friends are going, "Hey, you see Zayas' post today, bro?"
Right.
You see Zayas say, "Hey, what are you guys going to do?" "Hey, so Rick was wrong, huh?" That's all his birthday is today. Hey, so, dude, can you imagine him and Rick, just the damage control they're doing in that room, bro? You guys are still...
I can imagine, like, Virgil, like, did you see that post that doesn't have me on there? Like, dude, just doing his best to be like total fucking, like, we got this. I told you, bro.
I knew I missed one. Yes. And then the post without him on it. It's been a rough fucking week for a guy. For one, the manager who was undefeated in this shit. Oh, could you imagine how many times he told the Ortizes that? "Don't worry, I'll lose court dates. Don't worry, I'll lose. I got this." Remember when he said he had witnesses? "I have witnesses."
Witnesses. What is this, a wedding?
Bro, like, seriously, call Oscar, say you're sorry, and you want to be at the fight this weekend.
Just lick your wounds, be like, "Fuck, all right, I fucked up," own up to it, and just proceed with your career, so we don't end up with anything more years lost at this point, or any years lost really before we get the fight, because he's kind of, he's the odd man out now. It's like he's out of the picture. The 154-pound weight class is just working right without him. It's like, fuck, dude, you need to be in the middle of that shit, and you're not, because of this legal battle that you won't let go of.
You need to let it go. He needs to be there Saturday.
Mm.
If I'm Virgil, maybe I reach out and just try to get a ticket on my own. Even if you don't want to be with Oscar, Virgil needs to get his name back on the good side of boxing. And right now, he is not on that side. It's clearly showing him he was wrong.
Damn. From MADBoxing Show, we would like to extend the birthday wishes to one Virgil Ortiz. Virgil, please, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are, just get over it. Just get over it at this point. You just take the loss, take the L, and just move forward. And we get to see you. Because we want to see you in the ring against those guys. So the quicker you can just kind of own up to it at this point and just be like, "Fuck, I fucked up. My bad, Rick. You're fired." And then we can proceed from there.
He wants to really set it off, say something like, "I'm going to whoop your ass like Oscar did Trinidad." Then you really set it off with the Puerto Ricans, eh? He'll be an enemy overnight. $20 million fight, guaranteed, bro. You say one word, Tito sucks, or two words. Sorry.
Yeah. Or Camacho, for that matter. Be like, "I'm going to do what Oscar did to Camacho. I'm going to retire your ass."
No, Oscar beat Trinidad. And don't you ever say
not on the record, not on the
Yeah,
record. In the record, what does our trusted Bible says? Box rec.
Fuck that.
It's a fucking loss.
You know what? I'll watch that fight with any Puerto Rican in the world, dude. They can't give me 8 rounds, bro. Matter of fact, you see their life leave them in about the 11th round, dude. When they know it's not going to happen. There's no more rounds left. Yeah, no. Show me your 8, motherfucker. We got 1 left. Show me your 8.
It's in the bag already at that point. It's in the bag.
Yeah, I know you got like 3. That's all he won is like 3. The fuck out of here. And you're hearing, "Oh, he's running," and Oscar's jabbing the shit out of him while he's dancing in circles. Like, run. Bro, he's throwing combos as he's light on his feet. Trinidad just cement fucking walking. Running. Oh, it's dogs. There were dogs for that. That was one of the worst calls ever, and I was going for Trinidad. Remember, I hate Oscar at this point. That fight made me go, okay, Mexicans can box.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm still Chavez, bro. Right?
Right.
You're fucking going in. You're throwing hooks. We're fucking. You're Chavez or you're nothing at this point. And when he beat Chavez twice, especially the second time, the first time I asked for it, my brother got mad at me. My brother smacked me. Goes, "Why'd you say that?" Because I asked. We met Oscar at what was it? Bum Outlet. Oscar,
Bum Equipment.
Equipment.
Yeah,
we met him in Milpitas. They opened one at the Great Mall. So Oscar was signing there. And when my ass got up there, "Are you gonna fight Chavez?" And he was like, "No, we'll see." My brother, my older brother. he knew Chavez was too old for this shit, man.
Like, we gotta preserve him right now, fool. Don't give him any ideas, shit.
Yeah. So the first fight, I was kind of like, I knew this was gonna happen. The second fight, I'm fucking like, fuck that dude. Especially when he did the Tiger Woods. Remember he did the
I remember that. And he looked all mean as fuck. That I think he deliberately grew out some of his facial hair so he looked like a fucking villain.
My brother threw a chair into a campfire over Trinidad Hoya.
Oh damn! What, did he have money on it?
No, my grandpa was telling us we were stupid.
Wait, before the chair was thrown or after?
My grandpa was talking shit, man. He's like, "That Mexican's gonna whoop Trinidad's ass." Me and my brother were like, "Those hooks, he's a hooker, he's a power puncher." And things got said that shouldn't have been said, but it was when Mexicans go up against Puerto Ricans, things will be said.
Oh yeah, they cannot be taken back.
Oh, the fire almost started the whole fucking forest fire because of a boxing match. He took off in the dark. I was like, "Hey, is that someone gonna go after Greg? You don't even have a flashlight, man."
He's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out here."
Hey, but Grandpa was right.
Yeah.
He boxed his ass off, dude. The boxer won. Couldn't believe it. Well, I know what the scorecards read.
Right. The official. I mean, but we all know. It's just like Oscar and Floyd. We all know. Floyd and Castillo, we all know.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what came over my feed? Because we were talking about it last week. Letterman gave Castillo the last 3 rounds on his card.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Fuck.
I saw that. Yeah, he had it right.
Yep.
Fucking let him. R.I.P. All right, and then next topic. This one was kind of, we saw it coming, right? The IBF has officially stripped Jai Opetaia of his championship belt. We figured this is kind of a two-part story.
I heard the IBF sent a text to Dana and said it's like taking candy from a baby. Oh,
He's like, I didn't know it was going to be this easy, Dana. But this is a bit of a two-parter here, because it kind of sort of has to do with sanctioning bodies and the kind of relationship they can expect to have with Zuffa Boxing. According to literally recently, I'm reading this CBS Sports. That's their website that I went to. The House of Representatives passes Ali Revival Act with bipartisan support to amend federal boxing regulations. So it passes. I don't know a lot of this legal jargon, but that sounds like a win for Zuffa Boxing in an attempt to change, amend, revive, whatever, this Ali Act, so they can have their Zuffa belts, their UBOs, and all that shit. I wouldn't be surprised if these are connected somehow, right? The IBF caught wind that this actually happened, and they said, fuck this. Y'all want to do your fake-ass trophy belts. We're taking the belt off of his ass. Don't ever fucking have us fight for this belt again. The IBF issued a statement on Monday confirming that Opetaia has been relieved of his championship following his involvement in the March 8th bout with Brandon Glanton for the inaugural Zuffa Boxing Cruiserweight Championship. The IBF withdrew its sanction of the fight 3 days prior and cited that it was misled by Zuffa's championship that would be no more than as characterized as a trophy or token of recognition. So the IBF, and their official statement says, the IBF wishes Jai Opetaia continued success in his career. This is one of those wish you in your future endeavors. He rose through the IBF rankings to become world champion, one of the highest achievements in a fighter's career. As noted in an earlier press release regarding this situation, the IBF's rules don't always yield the preferred popular outcome, but they provide structure and transparency, serving not just the champion, but those waiting for the opportunity to fight. The title is now vacant. Andrew, when you read that the IBF decided to take their belt officially off of Jai Opetaia, what came to mind? What did you think? You think, all right call, we knew it was about to happen, or give him a pass?
No, we always knew it was going to happen, Miguel. The Zuffa messed up the way they came into boxing and trying to act like they were about to dictate the sport, and they called everyone broke. They called legends pampered babies, weren't put in hard fights. Dana White feels he's the answer to all the undefeated fighters, is that, he's going to put them in fights that get them all losses. So he just rubbing people wrong constantly. I think they gave him a shot. He doesn't work. They put Suleiman. I already told you, Suleiman got stuck in a corner in the stage. They didn't even allow him on it. At the fight, he's put behind a post. These guys have rubbed themselves the wrong way with the whole sport, and the sport is reacting now. And I got to tell you, this week's news about the Ali Revival Act being pushed forward would have been bigger news if Zuffa wasn't on its 5th card already. The change already happened. The rankings are already out. People already know what's going on in Zuffa. And guess what? No one fucking cared. Do you think now people are going to go, oh, the title's real now? Okay, they're going to fight for that belt. They were going to fight for the belt if they wanted it 5 events ago. Hey, Dana, are you giving raises because your Revival Act passed? No? So then I don't give a fuck. Like I didn't give a fuck when you guys were going to pass it 4 or 5 events ago. That's how I think the whole boxing world is looking at Zuffa right now. And I got to tell you, with DAZN hiring every major boxing promoter in the sport, isolating them from Paramount, is the writing already on the wall? Did Turkey already realize he invested wrong? And so he's like, all right, let's go ahead and all of you guys come. I'll play ball with all of you. Because all of a sudden, Matchroom got signed today, Golden Boy yesterday, Top Rank last week. Queensberry's still out, but did you hear the breaking news? I got breaking news. I got it.
Oh, shit. All right. Lay it on us. Go ahead.
Breaking news. Queensberry just signed a co-promotional deal with Jared Anderson from Top Rank. So add another top 10 heavyweight to Queensberry's list who seems to own the whole fucking division already.
Go ahead. I was going to read that quick quote that you threw in there about Matchroom. This is from the Ring Magazine, directly the Ring Magazine. Sources close to Matchroom have confirmed to the Ring that they have now agreed on an extension of their sponsorship with Riyadh season and will be involved in the Glory in Giza, which is going to take place, with the Usyk in the pyramids. So it's like, all right,
what else is that going to be involved with, Miguel?
I don't know. Tell me.
Who's on the undercard? Oh, that's not. I thought that's the Conor Ben one. That's not the Conor Ben.
No, it's the Usyk and the kickboxer Van Hoven on the fucking pyramid.
Fury and the other guy. Gosh, my bad, bro. Sorry.
That's right.
Okay.
There's a lot of fights going on.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of shit. But yes, add to your point now. But I mean, Turkey's kind of double dipping here, right? He's got the DAZN over here with all those fucking people, and he's got Zuffa with Paramount over here. Is that like and you've talked about this, right? Letting the fox into the hay pen or whatever it's called, hen house. Is it a way to try to like control these promoters to kind of like make sure they don't fuck with Dana and Zuffa to make sure that Zuffa succeeds?
I don't know how Zuffa is going to succeed on their current. Maybe 10 years from now, Zuffa will succeed. But on their current, what is it, the path that they're leading right now, they're not going to succeed, bro. The whole sport's against them right now.
Well, it's not even just that, but if Turkey can sort of hinder the guys that are under DAZN right now because of how much he controls, I think he owns like 13% of the DAZN, and then now this with Matchroom and everybody else, like to somehow squeeze the grip on those motherfuckers, like don't fuck with these guys over here, somehow hindering them from like outshining Zuffa Boxing.
No, they're not going to outshine them. That Bellator don't outshine UFC. Zuffa will not shine the four major.
I'm saying because he's going to try to do something to them. That's what I'm saying. He's going to
do what? Guys. Overpay them? I mean, we just found out Berlanga made $10 million, bro. Berlanga is fucking a loser. Berlanga just got his ass kicked by Shiraz, bro. That fight was garbage, and this guy's walking around like, oh, he's playing Deontay Wilder, their fixed gloves. Like, are you fucking serious? Dude, terrible signing. Do you know Berlanga's one loss away from being a fucking nobody, and you give him $10 million?
Yeah, let's talk that here real quick. Yeah. Edgar Berlanga is reportedly signing a 1-year deal worth 8 figures, 10 million, with Zuffa. Multiple Zuffa signees are to be announced over the next 2 weeks. This being one of them. What? That's a lot of fucking money for 1 year. I mean, how many fights? 2?
And he already lost to the two of the biggest names in the division. Like, where are they going to recoup that money back from?
Add to that, he's a super middleweight. There is no super middleweights in Zuffa. Either he drops down to 160 or move up to 175.
He's about to look hella fat fighting Opetaia.
Oh, man. Force that shit. Oh, God. Oh, dude, you're too loud. It's breaking up. What?
I say he's going to have a little belly on him fighting Opetaia that big, dude. Come on.
Or anybody. I mean, who else? I'm trying to think of other light heavyweights up there. But it's like,
I'm just saying that because that's the only one Zuffa has.
Or trim down to 160 for Conor. I mean, not Conor. I'm sorry. Yeah, Conor Ben.
Conor Ben, yeah.
Yeah, is that the direction they're going to go?
It's a decent fight, but do we ever demand fighters to go down in weight? You know what I mean?
Say this. The UFC is kind of synonymous for doing that shit.
I know.
I remember right off the top of my head a mixed martial artist Cuban wrestler, Yoel Romero, who had fought in Strikeforce, another organization, at light heavyweight 205. He comes to the UFC, they make him do 185, and he drops it, and he makes it, and he does quite a run at 185, but he didn't want to be there. He would much rather be in the heavyweight class. He leaves the UFC and immediately comes up. He's now fighting bare knuckle boxing in the heavyweight class. So the UFC is kind of synonymous for doing that shit.
Yeah, no, you've told me that, and I totally believe you. I see it in the weigh-in pictures, dude. Some guys, yes, look like they're top-notch physique, right? A lot of their guys look like fucking Eric Morales, you know? Eric Morales never did weight cuts good, man.
Trying to raise your hand as if you're going to be fucking lighter on the scale.
Yeah, and just like more looking like a zombie than an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Cheeks all exposed, just skinny, drained, eyes sucked in. You see a lot more of that on the MMA scale than you see the Floyd Mayweathers and stuff, just chiseled fight. And that's why Joe Rogan, he complimented, I think it was Ryan Garcia the last time. He was like, how does he do that? How does he get his body so good? Now, I don't know if he was meaning dirty test again or something like that. But yes, there is. I do believe you that that's one of the reasons why their fighters look like that is because a majority of their guys are fighting out of their weight class because there's only so many spots, and you got to give that to the good guys.
And there's too much of a gap in between weight classes. They have too few weight classes. There's just guys in between, guys that are too small for the weight class above them or too big for the one beneath them, and they make the effort to go to the one beneath them, and they look like fucking skeletons.
Yeah, no, look, the Ring magazine is also about to get put under the fire this week too. It's been announced that Opetaia now is 2 years away from defending that title against a top 5 opponent, so he should be stripped. We'll see what happens there. Are they going to stick to their own rule book, or are they going to look past it? It wasn't as easy as Dana's been saying. It's not going to be as easy. With Zuffa, with these outrageous signings, I'm telling you, you don't think Dana White, if he hasn't told Turkey, he's not thinking, this was not the plan. The plan was not for me to start some bullshit B-rated company while you're signing guys to $15 and $10 million for a year. One guy for one fight. Look, you guys, I told Miguel, maybe this 1 year deal, maybe they fight him 4 times at 2.5. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Get their money's worth out of them.
Bro, like seriously, to me, 2.5 is way worth a Berlanga fight right now. You're not a headliner. You're not the star athlete, even in your own division. Like, bro gets more clout right now on his fucking music and his jewelry that he posts. You don't see him posting highlights of him winning because he's not winning. His last 2 fights have been really, really bad.
You know what highlights we do see him of, though? Punching a big banner with Chris Eubanks Jr.'s face on it. That. Nice. I've seen that, right? He says he's going to be starting training camp real soon, according to this caption here. Do we think we'll see him against Chris Eubanks? That's at least what we're leaning, or that's what this teaser is giving us that impression, right? I mean, he looks all like try to look all tough and like bam, like punches him right a fucking poster. But anyway, it looks like that's the kind of content that we have on his page. Is Chris Eubank next?
That's an excellent fight. I like that fight for both guys, especially in the UK. Now, if they do that fight in the UK, I definitely see them making some money back on ticket sales. Chris Eubank, Conor Benn are heavy names out there right now. They coming off 2 great fights where they packed the house. I do believe Berlanga has a big enough name to carry over there in the UK to have all their fans going, you know what, this is going to bring Eubank right back to the top, and they buy into that. So I do like that fight. With that being said, that will be Berlanga's last fight as a main event guy.
I was just going to say that. Well, I thought you were going to be like, that's the last fight, like, outside of fucking Zuffa, because once it happens, he's going to be fighting in the fucking Apex, and it ain't going to be no damn UK card over there.
Yeah, totally agree, bro.
But that oh geez, I mean, but yes, Opetaia has officially been stripped of the IBF championship, and it's now vacant. So,
and what are they going to do about the ring? Do they
Oh,
go against their
did you
own
hear
rules?
Oscar saying that he regrets selling the ring to fucking Turkey? I don't know if you saw that video. That he's like, I don't have a lot of regrets, but one of them is, you know, selling that the Ring magazine to Turkey because they just, you know, drove it to the ground basically.
Yeah,
So
they did.
it did mention that. I saw that in an interview and I was like, oh fuck yeah. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Shit, if you go that direction while you know, Turkey's taking over, here you go. Give me 10 mil for him.
Definitely, I think behind closed doors, Oscar would say, "Hey, 10 million was a gift, right? I never thought I was gonna get that money back from a magazine that was." I mean, and honestly, I don't know who's buying the magazine still. I don't give a fuck how many posters he put in the thing. They need to show me who's subscribing to it because there's me and no one else.
That's still subscribed.
Right? Do you people that used to subscribe to that magazine?
No, I don't. And I think the last Ring magazine that I bought was like Pacquiao Marquez 4, like leading up to that one. I think 2012. I think it was the last time I actually bought a fucking Ring magazine.
Right. So yeah, dude, it's all, you know, my grandpa passed it down to me. I was watching. My brother used to, but he even got out of the magazine thing, and I carried it to about same as you, and then I was done with it. But yeah, I don't know too many people that subscribe to that magazine, so I think Oscar still made out even getting the 10 million for that. They did drive it into the ground, and right now it's a big test. I mean, seriously, if they allow him not to fight any top 5 guy and he's still the lineal champ, it's a fake title.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Now they just took all the credibility away from that belt. It's already kind of there, but they're going to solidify it by going, oh, is that a rule? Okay, not a rule anymore.
Yeah. It's like, this is why we signed him, so he doesn't have to fucking, you know, he's considered the #1 dude in the weight class, so, you know, he gets to keep it.
And anyone who fights under Zuffa and tries to think that they're going to get their way, they got to take this as a this is the future, man. Fake belts, fake rankings, not really being looked at as the champ. I'm sorry, Opetaia. It looked like he really wanted to make this run in the sport, try to be a legend in the cruiserweights, and that has all went away with one signature. Now you are just a $750,000 employee.
And this passing of the Ali Act revival really like drove that nail home.
Yeah,
like that essentially just did it, really. And like you said, they were already doing it, but this is just like, you know, officially official, I guess. Oh man. Okay. So before, I know we're kind of running short on time, but let me go ahead and get this last one here.
Shit.
We were kind of we were talking a little bit long on that first topic. No biggie. But to get this last topic out here, Eddie Hearn decided to give us a nice soundbite with a recent interview that he did in regards to where he stands with Tom Aspinall. Right? They asked him about a UFC fighter that fought on the UK card, Michael Venom Page, whose theme song, or the song that he walked to the ring, was "They Don't Care About Us," which I think is Michael Jackson. Wrong? I think it's a Michael Jackson song.
Yeah.
So, it didn't help that he came out and put on a fucking snoozer of a fight. But regardless, you know, this was brought up to Eddie Hearn, and he's like, yeah. And his quote, or his nice sound bite, was like, not too long before you see these guys with picket signs, you know, placards as he calls it, outside of the apex, you know, demanding more money. But it was a fun sound bite. But you guys sent it to me, Andrew, and I listened to it, and I was like, well, I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure what can be done necessarily now that the contracts have been signed. You think there's a way that maybe Hearn and his lawyers can look into it and be like, yo, this is a predatory contract. Maybe we can get these guys out of it.
Yeah, I've been leaning towards maybe a class action lawsuit. If he can get enough guys together, give their stories on how these contracts came up, what was said in between negotiating. Miguel, you want me to be a dick? Their lawyers can bring up IQ tests on some of these fighters that they've signed, right, to see if they can even read and write what they were signing. We're talking about fighters coming from all over the country, different backgrounds, right? So all they need is one. All they need is one to void this whole thing, or at least get this ball going into the right way. And it's like Eddie said, they fucked up. They fucked up and came into boxing and gave us the right to now go after them and start looking into all their dealings. Let's make sure, I just go back to Strickland with that 10 for 10 BS, dude. Like, to me, the numbers, there might be a judge that goes, wait a minute, you guys made 60 million on this night and they got 100 grand. The fuck is this? Like, and it goes back to maybe there's just a separation, no buyout, no penalties, but from here on out, this contract is void. And then Dana and them have got a real issue on their hands. So with him saying picketing, I mean, that's leaning towards he's getting a little bit more on his side than just one guy, right? Remember, he said 12 called them.
Yeah.
Could it be that all 12 of them have some kind of red flag on their contract and his lawyers are just they got to make, what is it called? Dot the I's and cross the T's, make sure everything's legit before they go.
Due diligence.
That's right. Before they go, you know what, Your Honor, take a look at these and tell me if this is right, what they're doing to these people. Especially, like I said, the ones that are coming from other countries and might not have a high education and no representation. Oh, what did they tell you? To leave your manager, your translator out in the fucking lobby?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, bro. So we will see. It's interesting.
It is interesting. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, that was all right.
I was just going to say there was, and I try not to be pessimistic. I want to be optimistic, but there was a time where there was a push to put MMA under the current Ali Act, and there wasn't enough representation of the fighters. That's my only thing, is like, maybe now is different. Maybe it's different now, right? But at the time when they had the chance to make the change before it got to this point, there weren't enough fighters picketing out there. So to try to be, realistic, I'm not sure if it's something that can be changed now. But it definitely makes things a little bit different. That what Eddie Hearn said, y'all fucked up by trying to come into our fucking world, trying to do that here, raising the flags, having people raise eyebrows and be like, hold on, you're doing do what? And then find out that they're doing that shit with those guys. That might be a bit different story, because I don't think that was the situation then. I think it was just a matter of trying to spread the Ali Act to MMA, and then for whatever reason, the fighters just not showing up. Maybe it's different this time.
Yeah. And is it true that Mazdadov is now fighting on that MVP card, or is that not true?
No.
Okay,
I think that was just a rumor. I don't know what truth there was to that at all. He is not Jorge Masvidal. He's not involved with the UFC now, as far as I understand it. He's not under any contracts or anything like that, right? As of right now. So when the rumor surfaced, people thought it was legitimate, because there's a possibility he can do that. But no. As far as I know, that card is actually looking pretty fucking tight. There's like 1 or 2 fights on there that are a little bit more for the hardcores, and it's looking pretty fucking solid. Like, I'm debating going, I'm seriously debating fucking just going to this shit, because it might not be, the headliners are for the casuals, but there's like 1 or 2 fights on that. I'm like, that's gonna fucking be dope. That fight's gonna be tight. But no, anyway, but yes, as far as I know, Masvidal is not on that card. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, funny post by Eddie Hearn. I saw that, and he threw that in there. Oh, he did throw that in there, actually. He's like, MVP is throwing the best card of the year. And it's like, oh shit. He's just throwing all this shade. That was kind of funny.
And he even talked about getting in. He goes, can we get into MMA? I don't know. We'll look in. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, he opened a can of worms here, maybe.
Yes.
They had a good thing going, Miguel.
They did, and it was a solid 33 years, whatever the fuck that the UFC had everything going. But if you guys follow MMA to any degree, Ariel Helwani, he's one of the guys who I have a love-hate relationship with the guy, because he kind of gets on my nerves sometimes. He's kind of instigates shit, but sometimes he reports some good shit, and it's like, oh fuck it, this is why I listen to this guy. He mentioned one of the few times in MMA history that like we get this kind of fight, like it's a boxing type of fight where guys don't have specific contracts with a certain promoter per se, or they do, but they're allowed to fight guys from other worlds. It's like Netflix coming in with money saying, put on the card, sign the guys to fight. And even though it might not be a full-time, like long-term deal with MVP or something like that, the fighter themselves, I'm saying, if Eddie Hearn does the same thing, and he has a stable of fighters, and MVP has a stable of fighters, and we get those kind of fights where the way HBO used to have a budget and be like, yo, y'all fight each other, and MVP and fucking Eddie Hearn can make cards. That's something that the MMA has never really seen prior to the UFC. So anyway, something to think about, I guess, for the possibility of the landscape of MMA long term. Okay, but that's gonna do it. Andrew, to not hold you any longer because I know you got to get crack-a-lackin'. For my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapiche. I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Fiend Migs. We will see you guys on Sunday for, the post-fight of Fundora and Thurman. Enjoy the pay-per-view card. If you guys, by all means, come down. And keep an eye, of course, on our YouTube channel in case I post anything from tomorrow being Thursday. So thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care. Peace.